So make sure we get to this money though. Yeah.
What's up, world? Now I got Hip Hop is Real, and you already know what it is, man. We got one of the, guys that's behind the scenes. He's rarely in front of this camera, but it's a lot of things going on in the culture, and we about to address a lot of things happening. Please introduce yourself, to the people out there.
Slick Will, man, going on Bullpen Battle League. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Will, I've been knowing you for some time.
Right.
And through our meetings and everything like that, I'm not gonna lie, back in the day, like just walking through the Bullpen doors, I never knew you were one of the owners of Bullpen.
Yeah, everybody say that. Everybody, I would just be around. Everybody always see me around, whether we was traveling in New York or something like that. I just kept, I kept to myself. I stayed quiet. I kind of liked being behind the camera. It wasn't until a little bit later on, you know what I'm saying, where I had to kind of start taking, steps here and there, to the forefront, just from a business perspective.
Just for some history, give the people a little bit of background about, how you linked up with John to start up Bullpen and everything like that. How did the whole creation of Bullpen start?
That's a crazy story, because I had just come back from overseas. I had just gotten an iPhone 2. That's how long ago it was, and I ain't have no social media, no nothing like that. But I finally started it. I started my IG based on the numbers in my phone. It like gives you people you're supposed to recommend or something. John was literally the first person that popped up on my phone, and the first post I ever saw on Instagram was him saying, "All right, I'm tired of fucking playing around. It's time for me to start my own league." I literally wrote on that post and was like, "Bro, if you need any help with it, just let me know." He was like, "Say less." That's literally how it started. We locked in. I came back down home to Atlanta. He came to my crib. We locked in clips and DNA within like an hour.
Okay, so
yeah.
You're in the Navy, you said, right?
Right, yeah.
So you're home now,
mm-hmm.
and you're getting tapped in with social media.
Yeah.
And you tap into Instagram, and John's one of the first people you see.
Yeah, it was literally the first.
So were you already a fan of battle rap and what I'm saying? Before?
I was following, what he was doing. Because, we've known each other since high school, so...
Okay, so you already knew John.
Right, yeah, I already knew John.
Okay.
Yeah, we've known each other since high school.
Okay.
Right,
So
yeah.
starting Bullpen wasn't the first time you knew John?
No, nothing like that. It was just because his number was in my phone. How it gives you recommended.
Got you. People you already knew. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so you and John go back from.
Yeah, since high school. Man.
How old?
14.
Damn. Okay. So you damn near know him your whole life.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, about 21, 22 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were y'all cool?
Yeah.
That whole time as well?
Yeah, he came out for football. I was on the football team. He came out one day. I think I forgot what happened. But we got to know each other there, but he didn't come back after that first day. He stuck with basketball and everything. And but we knew a little bit of each other from there. And then after high school, we got closer. We just ran in the same circles, started throwing parties together, when we was 18, 19, shit like that. And then I left. We still kind of stayed in touch here and there, but I kept tabs on him and his battle, him battling while I was overseas.
Right.
So, and I saw him grow. I just kept seeing him growing, and I think right before I came back, he had just battled Hitman.
Okay.
He had just battled Hitman. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I saw from when he first got on Smack. Yeah, and we got tapped back in maybe a year or so after that.
Got you.
I got back
so you hit him up on IG, and then you said how long it takes before you guys start getting some business, or is that the creation of Bullpen automatically?
Yeah, so when I saw the post, I was, because we had already worked together before, promotion, doing parties and stuff like that.
Dope.
So I was I know a little bit of the business, business side of those kind of things. So I was like, yo, if you need any help, just let me know. He said, say less. So when I finally got back to Atlanta, he came by, pitched me the whole idea. A lot of people don't know we were supposed to be URL South at first.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was supposed to be URL South because John was supposed to be looking for talent, you know, for smacking them.
Dope.
Yeah, but then, you know, we kind of looked at it as like, well, we can do this ourselves, though. You know what I'm saying? We can create our own, you know, down here in Atlanta.
So you saying John came to you with the idea of Bullpen?
Right. Yeah. He came to me with the idea.
Oh, okay. Dope. And then how'd you guys, you know, go from there?
So I mean, it really didn't take that much persuasion, to be honest with you. I had already, like, from watching him, I did become fans of other people. Like, I became a fan of Ars, I became a fan of Clips. So I started watching some of their battles, and you know, I just slowly started to gain, you know, become more of a fan from there. So, but yeah, maybe an hour-long conversation, and then he said, "Well, we can lock this in right now." He called Clips. We got the business right with Clips. Called DNA right after that. Did that too. And then he already had names of people that he was looking for to, you know, like to bring to the pen. One person that almost made it was B-Dot was supposed to be a part of the original First Class.
Okay.
Yeah, but that didn't end up working. I think it was just because, you know, like all the way out being on the West Coast and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we locked it in that night. Had a first event. It was crazy. A lot of people showed up. Got a lot of support from the city.
Let me ask you this, right? You just recently did an interview, you know, today with Battle Facts, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to get to the point where basically, like, because it's like you're the owner of Bullpen. A lot of people didn't know that, but it seemed like you're like the sole owner as far as like on paperwork or something like that. It seems like.
Yeah, on paperwork, but this never would have been. It's never would have happened if it wasn't with John. You know what I mean? Like, so I started it up. I did all of the legal work as far as creating it and all of that.
Gotcha.
But it was always, me and John were always going 50-50.
Okay. So even though your name might be the name on paperwork, legally, it would technically be yours in a sense.
Yeah, technically.
But the fact that it was John's idea, y'all built it together.
Yeah, I'll never shy away from that. I would never sit up there and be like, nah, I ain't got nothing to do with it, nothing like that. It's 50-50, me and John the whole way.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, I guess, all the recent, you know what I'm saying, controversy going on? I seen facts he was saying he owned Bullpen, or he was trying to own it by, of course, I cleared it up today and things like that.
Right, yeah.
But
yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what brought you out, like, you know what I'm saying, to even speak on it.
Yeah, because, you know, like, you know, to some degree, I still feel like that's my baby, you know what I mean? Even though I've gone and done, you know, other things since then. Like, I get kind of antsy when people start talking about the Bullpen and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to chop it up with him, see where his head was at with it. You know, I understand where you're coming from. You know, they want answers to certain questions that haven't been, you know, answered. Right. And me, like I said, it's been 10 years and 2 weeks since we started Bullpen. And the past year and a half, maybe even 2 years, I started going off and, you know, building my own personal brand and, you know, doing my own thing, and my stand-up, you know, writing, producing, and acting and stuff like that. So I just haven't been doing as much, you know, on that side. So John really picked up a lot of the slack, and then basically was pretty much doing it all, you know, himself.
Okay.
I know it was kind of difficult. It was a difficult thing, but it was a difficult kind of situation. Right. And
was that like an agreement? Like, you know, you do your thing right now because I'm focused on other things, and he just basically took
yeah, like you know, a lot of the things that were happening, because at the end of the day, this is his dream. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted this for, you know, to cement his own legacy as a, you know, within the culture. Right. And I always felt like, you know, I'm a part of it, but, you know, I eventually have things that I want to do as well. And so that's when those opportunities presented itself, that's when I, you know, started going in that direction, and he understood that, and you know, that's how how we got to, you know, I guess where we are right now.
Now, I want to talk about and I'm here with my, my co-host for the Know the Game podcast room. Just
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So if he chimes in or asks a question, just like for the fans who's out there and everything.
Right.
Now, EndGame. I feel like that kind of was like the thing that kind of like created this whole energy where a lot of people had been going against John and battle rappers haven't been paid, and the investors and Cassidy. It's like been so much of a thing.
Yeah.
Obviously you said the last year and a half, 2 years, you've been kind of like allowing John to do everything himself. So are you how do you feel about everything that's been happening business wise? What can you speak on? What's where you at with John? Like how's everything going, and how are you guys handling, this whole EndGame situation right now?
Right.
I know that's a lot.
We haven't spoke as much as we used to, and it's not like for any like beef or nothing like that. I ain't got no problem with him. He ain't got no problem with me. Like I said, we're just going in different directions. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but yeah, hearing about all of these things, it's tough because I see a lot of people upset. I see a lot of people, trying to find answers, and it's hard because I don't necessarily have all the answers that they're looking for.
Okay.
And that is kind of tough. And I understand people say, well, it's your business. How do you know? I've got like 3 businesses. You know what I'm saying? I got my own production company. I've got just all these other different things that I'm doing. And at the end of the day, like I said, this was started with his vision.
Right.
The thing that my other businesses are a part of my vision. And so, as I work towards those things, I just started to put more focus in that area. And but at the same time, this is still where it all started, and it's kind of I go back and forth thinking like I wish I could really give everybody the answers that they want.
Okay.
Because that's just the kind of person I am. I don't like.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What is your take on what happened? You've spoken to John, I'm sure. You were there at the event.
Right. Yeah.
You remember everything that helped. You know what I'm saying? You were a part of building the event.
Mm-hmm.
You knew when the contract got signed, I'm sure, or when, hey, we're doing this event on the 19th.
Right.
For you, what happened? Who's in the wrong as far as is Cassidy? Because John put out a public statement that I'll read if you don't remember or whatever.
Yeah, you could, because I
you know what I'm saying?
Remember.
But as far as that, who, what happened from your perspective? You know what I'm saying?
From my perspective, knowing how the car was built, and that there were investors being brought in, and like I said, separate entities that were involved, some that I hadn't worked with before. So
it was more than just one investor.
Say again?
It was more than just one investor for this event.
I want to say so.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say
I know
so.
one of them
like I said, looking at it, there were a lot of different people I know that I had like small little flyby conversations with.
Okay.
But like I said, like in the heat of a moment, and during an event, you don't really get to sit there and really talk
Now,
as much as you want to.
When people say the word investors, are these people that are investing and giving finances in the hopes of getting a return back? Or some of these people just sponsoring to get brand and product placement? Or were all these different quote unquote investors actually expecting some type of ROI back on whatever they were putting up?
Well, if you labeled as a sponsor, you a sponsor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You an investor, you expecting to get something back.
Okay.
I always try to make sure, especially when you doing events, that you make sure it's very, very clear. Because sometimes somebody can say they want to sponsor something, and then they say, all right, what it's looking like on the back, and you know what sponsor mean, right? So yeah, that's something you really got to make sure people know out the gate, for sure.
Oh, and now, if you continue as far as your perspective on what went wrong with this whole Cassidy and where things went left from your perspective.
Yeah, so I had only had one conversation with someone who's in Cass's camp that you know we know through like I think he works with over there at KOD.
Hef.
Yeah.
I know Hef, you know what I'm saying? He works with Cassidy. I'm not saying he's not his manager, but he works close with Cassidy.
But you work closer with him. So in talking, and that's mainly where I got how I kind of tried to get my info on the situation, because like I said, the night before, where everybody's talking about that it was known that he wasn't coming, I didn't know that. I know I didn't, and I still had like I said earlier today, I went to bed with a hope, because I had heard both sides of it. I had heard he ain't coming. I had heard, you know, like he still might come.
And who so you say you heard that from Hef? Or you just had a conversation with him prior?
I just had a conversation with him prior.
Okay, and that was just what, reassuring you that everything's cool? Or
right, like just kind of checking in on everything, seeing is everything good, and like I said, even just not knowing the details.
Right.
If there was something like maybe you'd be able to talk with me about it.
Right.
So it wasn't like any kind of like official conversation or something like that, just kind of like checking the temperature.
Okay.
Yeah, so
and he obviously didn't bring up any gripes or concerns when you guys had this conversation. As far as you were concerned, at the end of that conversation, everything was on the up and up and smooth.
Right, yeah. So that's who I was talking to. But then, like I said, I'm hearing something else is happening, and this is like I said during the face-offs, which I didn't make it to. But usually, those nights before, I like to like go to bed early and stuff like that. And,
right.
You know, because it's gonna be a whole
good energy for the next day.
So
I'm surprised you're able to go to bed early.
Yeah. So waking up, but I'm talking about my phone was filled like to the
so even though at this time you're hands off with the business at this point, you're still actively kind of helping out.
Just kind of like watching and seeing, and if there is something where it looks like it's about to, you know, get out of control or something like that, you know, you can just step in and see and try and mediate the situation.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So basically, it was basically there for support. Probably the last two events, I would say.
Oh, just really supporting. Like
Yeah. So EndGame, and I think was it the pandemic that was right before?
No, it wasn't. Was it? Before EndGame?
No, before EndGame.
The fact that I don't know.
No, it wasn't before EndGame. That was right before when they did the joint with the mayor, and then they did the twerk joint, right?
We did it at what we did at the Westin.
Yeah,
that was the second to last.
Yeah, that was politics as usual.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because that was like in May or something, and then I think
we had that.
The EndGame happened in October.
Yeah. So that was it. Politics as usual. Because I remember the Westin being.
Yeah. That, as far as the big of it, then they had the remake with Twerk, and he had that battle. The next day, I forgot the name of the card again. You had to be.
But
there.
I wasn't. Yeah. But see, I
had to be there.
Yeah. But so. Like I said, just kind of there supporting wherever I saw, if anything was to pop up.
Right.
Yeah, if anything was to pop up, I know I could at least try and figure it out and try and get it handled.
So let's go down. Okay, the night before the face-off, Cassidy doesn't pull up. What happens the next day? You know what I'm saying? Y'all wake up, your phone's blowing up, like you said.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
And it's just, coming in, and nothing you can do at that point. There's nothing you can do. I probably was one of the first to get there, and I was like, I guess I'll talk to John when he get here and see what the plan is moving forward. And I don't know, he really wasn't in the mood that day, and that's what made me kind of feel like he felt the same way that I felt. Why, like I said, because on him he looked upset and disappointed.
Right, of course.
Right. So when people was like, oh yeah, well he knew and all of this, but I just remember having that conversation and him just kind of just being over it. Like he just wasn't in a mental space to really. We both just kind of were like, all right, let's just kind of get through this,
right?
With, as smooth as possible.
Which, and I'm not gonna lie, I was there. It was lit. It was still, you know what I mean? Like the energy, the battles that happened, everything. It was a good night.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We still. I mean, you still want to put on the best possible, show.
Right.
And put the best possible product out there. So. Yeah, it's just unfortunate.
So basically, Cassidy doesn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
Everything basically goes left. Why didn't you guys reschedule it? Was that a conversation? Why wasn't there like I guess some type of mitigation where you guys were able to come together and figure out what's next? Because Cassidy said he was sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That was
Right.
his excuse. I'm sick. I don't feel well. I can't make it.
Right, and so for me,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
like because
And
I
of
was
course,
hearing
it's the day
sick part.
before that he said it, and then y'all didn't find out till the next day because communication,
Right,
whatever.
right.
So,
But then I'm hearing it's like, but then there was something with the people were saying there was something with the money. So remember,
Right.
me not really knowing the details of everything for this event,
right.
I'm like, well, was he sick or was it about the money? Like I didn't know which was which. And then when we spoke, you were like, he was sick. Like
Right.
So obviously money was an issue too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
but
later
yeah,
on.
at the time, I was like, well, is it one or the other? Like I just didn't know.
Right.
Yeah. So, like it's. I don't know. Just anytime I think about it, man. Like I really, really, really wish I could get in there and find out and hopefully like come up with just some answers.
Yeah.
Because it seems like folks really like bugging out about it.
Listen,
You know what I mean?
it's
Like-
we're literally a year later. It's November
that's
1st
what I'm
now.
saying.
It was October 19th last year
Right.
that this happened.
Yup.
We're a year later, and it's like right now, I feel like it's in the forefront of the conversation of what's happening right now within the culture with John and everything, right?
Yeah.
It's a year later. How do you not know more information? Though? Did you not care to know?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like I said, I was already
Like, yo, John, this is your shit. You figure it out. Is that your mentality?
I wouldn't say that's the way I necessarily approached it.
Okay.
But after seeing all of that go down, I just remember just thinking, bro, I just want to go home. You know what I mean? Like because me already having a foot out the door, but then being told like everything would get handled. I was just like, and that's on me. Like I really gotta eat that.
Right.
I got to because I really was just over it. I was over it.
Okay, so
You know,
how was it?
like I said, 10
Yup.
years, man. Yeah. Like, and it's just been 3 people running Bullpen for 3 years. I mean, running for 10 years.
3
3
people.
people.
You-
Me, John, and Harry.
Okay, Harry.
We like
so
A&R. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like, he was feeling away. I could see that he was feeling away. I was feeling away, and we both left that event, and we didn't even say much to each other. It was just like, it was just overwhelming to a certain point.
Have y'all spoken much since?
That's all.
I mean, yeah, we still speak. You know what I'm saying? It's really not about business though.
Okay.
It's
See, I
not
haven't
about
really
business.
broke down. You've never really asked him like, yo, what's the issue for it? Like, or you've
No.
never actually asked him that question yourself.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, because at the time where I would have asked, like I said, I was over it, he was over it, and like I said, I was shooting a movie like that weekend, so my mind was elsewhere anyway.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You said that you were kind of just expecting him to take care of it, or you thought things were going to be handled.
Mm-hmm.
When did you really become like aware that 6 months later, 3 months later, a year later, and you're hearing like, okay, stuff from that event was not handled.
Right.
There's an issue here that I was not aware about. When did that come to your table for you to be like, okay, hold on, what's going on here? What happened for real?
Well, I know knowledge notice. Once I took like myself completely out of the situation, I wasn't tapped into nothing battle rap. So it really did take that long. Like this situation that's happening right now, that's been happening over a year.
Yeah.
I'm just not finding out about. That's how out of the loop I am.
Okay.
Yeah, like between everything else that I've been working on, even like I say, even if I do talk to John, it's not. It hadn't been about business, and the fact that nobody has even that nobody after a while even reached out or asked me a question about anything, I never thought about it again. So that's why
So
you see
you
me
were
pop
still
out
accessible
like
to
this.
some of the battlers that were on that card.
I was what?
You were still accessible to some
Oh
of the
yeah,
battlers.
yeah.
on all the
Everybody
battlers
know
on
how
that
to reach
card.
me. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
like-
you're saying during that whole time, none of the performers on that card reached out to you and been like, hey, can't get a hold of John, or John's saying this, what's the word with this? So you just had no idea that people had. So you don't know who was paid, who wasn't paid, what back end's been where.
No.
So what was your thoughts when you started hearing, people saying that they weren't? Matter of fact, I'll just say it like this. One of the, like John spoke about it publicly with Uncle Rod, and he basically said it, you know what I'm saying, publicly. So, I had a few conversations with some of the artists afterwards about it, and Tay-Rock said, that's my dog, he ain't paid me, it is what it is, but I dropped my battle.
Yeah, I take it.
Loso, you know what I mean? I take the loss with him, that's my bro, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Loso, same thing, you feel me? Sirius Jones had some gripe, Danny Myers had some gripe, you know what I'm saying? But what was your thoughts when you started just hearing people say, and even John himself saying people weren't paid their back end at the time or whatever?
Like, I don't know, this is all, it's just, like I say, it makes me go back to why, why I was never, like contacted by anybody.
Yeah, you feel like the artist, and you cool with the artists, they know you.
Right, yeah, they know I'm a call away. They've always known that. They call for all kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, like, but, and that's one thing they also know too, that when I'm not there, if I'm gone, I'm gone. Like I'm not always, I'm rarely ever on my phone. I'm definitely not on social media. I don't stay tapped in like that. Like, I know it seems kind of weird in 2025, but like bro, I'll be disconnected.
Right.
I feel like that works best for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And my creative process and then the things that I that I do.
Right.
I only pop out when I need to pop out. And so it taking this long for me to actually understand the scope and the gravity of this whole situation, I know it sounds crazy, but that's just the God's honest truth. It really is. I never ever heard. I've watched events since then.
Yeah.
Like I caught the TBL, like with Hitman and Move. I watched that whole stream and stuff like that. But if I'm around people and even then sitting there at a watch party, nobody brings anything up.
Right.
I'm gonna go back home thinking the exact same shit.
Right.
I'm not gonna hear.
Well, I'll say the conversation really got brought up because the investor. Well, I'll say this. John said this statement first. He said, "I've stayed quiet long enough, but it's time to put the facts on record. The EndGame event under Bullpen was supposed to be something special, a collaboration between multiple parties with outside funding involved, so it wouldn't fall on me personally. But when Cassidy no-showed, everything changed. That single moment caused the whole operation to unravel, and I ended up covering costs out of my own pocket just to keep things together. To be clear, Cassidy no-show is what caused the financial hit. I lost thousands trying to make sure battlers and staff were still taken care of. Then later, the footage was released on Tubi through other parties without my involvement, consent, or compensation. I've got receipts for everything. I've never made $1 from EndGame, only losses, stress, and slander. I've already involved lawyers to address both sides of the situation. The artists who didn't show up and the distributors who mishandled the release. At the end of the day, I've always stood on integrity. I took accountability for my part, but I won't take blame for what others did or didn't do. The truth will come out and the paperwork backs every word. 100.
I do know that it has gone, like, we've gotten to the legal part of whatever's going on. Just over what I have learned in the past few days.
Yeah. So he's basically saying he's taking legal action against Cassidy, the artist who didn't show up. Well, we'd have to assume that because he said that's who basically caused the whole thing, and the people who released it on Tubi. Now, Avocado has also, it's been conversation. I haven't spoken to Avocado myself, but saying that I'm not sure 100%.
I don't think he's came out publicly.
Yeah. Okay. So people were saying that there was just some. I guess people making a reference to it.
Yeah, because he shot. Well, okay. If I think it's like this, people are trying to connect the dots, right? Avo shot the product.
Right. So I don't even want to say that he didn't get paid or anything
People
like
are just
that.
saying, well, how did this company or whoever that released it get the footage? And John's saying he wasn't responsible for it. So I think Avo just kind of came
So
into the mix.
let me just ask this.
that.
I don't want to put anything that wasn't said or anything like
Yeah.
that. It was just something I heard in hearsay about Avo. But was the footage released on YouTube? Oh, on Tubi? And you know what I'm saying? Do you know any of that at all? And you know, have you spoken to Avocado because he has the access to the footage?
No, I haven't spoken to Avo. That was actually going to be probably the next steps that I took. Like I said, with just me coming out, doing, talking this morning, and then obviously, talking to you right now, I still got stuff I got to figure out.
Okay.
Like as far as all of this is concerned, whether or not, because you're right, like if he's saying that the footage, I was trying to figure out how I ended up on Tubi. That's the first time where this all kind of like hit, finally got to me, because somebody was hitting me up telling me
the battle's on
congratulations or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wait, what? Like, what you talking about?
Yeah, and John was getting some flack for that too. Like, oh, he dropped it, and John was like, what are y'all talking about? Type thing. Like, he's confused. That from I see his tweets and things like that.
Right. So that's a whole nother situation. I'm trying to even figure out how that's possible.
Right.
Did you know the initial investor, the one that came out and spoke on facts? So you, during that whole EndGame time where you were kind of tapped in a little bit, you and that main investor never had any dealings? You don't? Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all. Everything that I would have done at that point was basically local. That would have been making sure, that Bullpen artist was, was where they needed to be, make sure that they was all good and all of that stuff. All of that other stuff got worked out, from in a completely
Okay, you were just there
separate.
managing the physical event, but in regards to the actual business
Yeah,
deals
the
behind
business
the
side of
details,
it,
the money.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah, because like I said, and for this event, for me and for Jai, it was really about, because the money really didn't matter for this one. We was really trying to make a statement with this one. We felt we had a crazy 2024. And wanted it to
He did. He was on some Champion of the Year type run. I remember.
Yeah, and so
Facts.
we wanted it to end it just like that, like with EndGame, and just completely run through all of 2024.
And John kept speaking about retiring and the things going on. So,
Yeah.
I think just as us as fans, we never want to let go, so we're not really believing them or listening wholeheartedly. Like, yeah, we hear you, but yeah, you probably getting tired, but you'll be back type thing. But you guys, inside of y'all camp, it was a real thing. Like, we're trying to end this.
Yeah, like we really had just gotten to a point where it was like, what's left to do?
Gotcha.
I mean, we can keep going. I mean, obviously, you can continue on and keep putting on battles, keep trying to build up new talent, but you're just doing it, but like, how long are we gonna realistically do that? And then also, like I said, now that we're all branching off into different things, it hasn't changed as far as 3 people basically being a part of the whole operation. And now it's bigger than ever. How long can we do that? And anybody we ever brought in, every single time we got fucked over.
Damn.
Every single time we brought somebody in and tried to try people out in certain areas. I mean, there's people who we had like on at a local level who we work with, but really trying to pull the whole operation together.
Right.
Just 3 people. Anybody else always got fucked over.
And what does that mean?
Like it could mean anything. It could be somebody who just don't know how business work, or you trust somebody to do something, they don't do it. We done had cameramen who, when we was doing the tour, we were doing the caffeine tour, and we was going, finding,
I remember.
Yeah, you remember that caffeine? So the cameraman who was supposed to be a part of that, just I can't
he didn't know what he was doing?
It's funny when I think about it. like it's funny.
He
Like you
was
talking about somebody
highly
being so
underqualified?
Huh?
He's
Yes.
highly underqualified.
Yeah, like somebody so unprofessional. Like
Right.
like some of the excuses that we was getting on the phone, I was like this gotta be on drugs. You can't possibly think somebody gonna believe that. That's crazy. Like, but yeah.
Let me ask you this, right? You know, I read the John statement that he made. The investor comes out and he says John's tripping. He's bugging for even saying that. He's like, you know, he's delusional for even thinking that. He knows everything. He like, what is he talking about? He's bugged out for even thinking like this shit's even going. Like, he's tripping for saying what he's saying right now because he's not being all the way, you know, forthright with this information because he knows everything that we spoke about, and basically saying when he said something in the lines of when he gave John the money, it was all for Cassidy, and like all of this other stuff wasn't. You know,
who is it though?
I don't know this guy. I'll reach out. You know what I mean?
Okay,
and figure something out. You know what I mean? If you get some more information.
Shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know this investor. You know, I mean, all you gotta do is call John, man. You'll know. Nah. Yeah, so you know, that's I guess you know his position and things like that. For you, like, I'm joking and being a little funny, but are you just able to call John and have this conversation? Because you're speaking it to us, we're having it publicly. He's gonna see this. Right. You know what I'm saying? At this point, he saw you this morning. So things like that. Does that open up the dialogue to talk about business and what y'all dealing with, or are you just like, hey man, you know, I can't. At this point, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, now that I've gotten like come out the way that I have, yeah, I mean, I gotta have that conversation,
right?
And just see, like, cause I want to see what it is that we actually looking at right now.
Yeah, what's the issue?
Like especially from a legal aspect, and also from what you know, like all of the things that have been said leading up to this point, before it even got to that point, like to where this whole Tubi shit. Like started coming out of nowhere. Right. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, I can call him right now and then and try and figure it out. I don't know how he's feeling. Don't know how, you know, like what kind of pushback I might or might not get. But I haven't tried to call him, but I will now. Like I said, me just finding out about it. These are all the steps I'm doing because
your name attached to it.
Yeah, because now
it's your business,
right? Yeah, like I just want to like, you know, I need to see how this is gonna play out and how we gotta attack this thing.
You said is Bullpen dissolved?
Yeah, as an LL, yeah, on paper, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on paper it is.
So
like I said,
you can't really tell shit to Will technically.
Right, yeah, like so, like to be honest with you, I know it might not make sense, but we had certain moves that we made maybe about a few years ago, where even having the name, having it as a LLC, it really didn't matter. Okay. Like it didn't matter. Like there's different trademarks that are involved now. Right. Like you can't just. I mean, somebody can't just try it. But you ain't gonna get far. Right. Like you know what I mean. So, yeah. Like, but yeah, it dissolved mainly because of some mistakes that were made, financially, like probably around that year 4 or 5 mark, But luckily we had already done, you know, like other things to still protect what Bullpen actually is. Right. So yeah, it's dissolved, and I understand people can play with, you know, like play with it and say, yeah. Come on, let's keep it real, man. Come on, you can't do that. What you gonna do with it? Right. Yeah. So
he says he's gonna turn into a consulting company.
Yeah. Once you find out, right. Like they can't do nothing with it.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, but yeah. 2021 going into 2022, I think.
Yeah. That's what I seen.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? John's not just your business partner; he's a friend. He's damn near family, right? So, what's your thoughts about just the attack he's been having? Like how people just been going at him and playing with his name, calling him con artists, just going at him on social media. You know what I'm saying? He's just getting all this backlash. You seeing him go through. So like you just in the beginning of the interview talked about seeing him, being friends with him, and watching him become who he's becoming as far as an artist.
Right.
At this point in his career, like, you know what I mean, he's had such a hell of a career. How do you feel about just like the attack he's getting now, and how do you think he turns it around, I guess? You know what I'm saying? Because he still had a good battle with Swamp. It's not like the fans hate him or anything like that, but just the negative spin that he has on his name.
I mean, it's tough for a number of reasons. One, like I said, being that close, especially for that length of time, like I said, you get to know somebody in a way that you know that everybody else who's saying the things and doing the things that they're doing, that you get to see things that you know they don't see.
Right.
And that kind of plays a part in it a little bit, but at the same time, like I said, you know, we gotta be men about this, like for real, and in all aspects of that word. So, as much as I don't like seeing it, because you know I know who he is, I know what kind of person John is, and like I said, even if like with the mistakes being made, you know, I don't think for 1 second that if anything was done, that it was done maliciously. I really don't think, I do not think that. But what I do think can happen sometimes is maybe sometimes you do get a little overwhelmed and you get in, sometimes you can end up in a situation where you get over your head. And or like I said, you're dealing with people that maybe don't have your best interest, which is something that we dealt with for the past 10 years. Like that very well could have happened too. And like I said, I really feel some type of way because I feel like I should have been more tapped in than I was. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of things probably could have been avoided, and we could have probably handled things in a different light. Not to say, you know, like I said, I got to go back and see because I mean some of the stuff I've heard, I got to see this for myself.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Right. 100%.
Yeah, but yeah, like I feel like things probably would have been handled a little bit differently. We could have really put our heads together and come up with some solutions that we wouldn't have to be finding a year from now.
Because you said day of whatever the situation or discrepancy Serious Jones was having, you were able to tap in and kind of smooth whatever that was over. So you would have had the same type of energy for anybody else or whatever.
Right, yeah, exactly. Because I didn't know, like I said, I didn't necessarily know what was going on with Serious. When I walked downstairs, John, like I said, John was already in a different headspace that morning. By the time we got to the end of the night, it had only snowballed from there. Right. So I saw him talk to Serious, and while they're talking, I could already see. I'm like, he don't need to be having this conversation right now. He really just don't. And so I went over and talked to Serious. Whatever was like, I was like, we're gonna go in and see, like, okay, because like me not knowing the financials like whatever had been worked out, I was like, we're gonna try and get it figured out. Boom, and you know it did. Like Serious came out and said that it got figured out. If anybody else had, like, let's say somebody else is spazzed out, right, I would have been right there and I would have talked to them, and because if I had known, I would have tried to fix it then. So Serious being the only one who came out and said it, Serious is the only one I saw
visibly upset.
Like visibly upset. Right. So I was like, okay, all right, let's try and put a lid on this. And so
Let me ask you this. This was something that I heard as well, and you know, I feel like you cleared it up, but I wanted to understand his position. Chris Petty, you know, I've heard he was the owner of Bullpen a few times. I don't know if it was like, you know, that was rumors out there. Of course,
he said it in the chat. Chris Petty.
He said it
in the in the Battle Facts chat. Oh. He said there was only ever 3 owners of Bullpen: him, Will, and John.
Oh, see, okay,
I believe that's what he said.
Hey, listen. All right. What's Chris Petty's relationship with Bullpen and yourself?
There is no relationship anymore with Bullpen and Chris Betty, and that hasn't been since 2016.
Why not?
Differences,
Like,
you know,
what?
just stylistic differences as far as, you know, how things should operate. We had a situation for one of our free events that, you know, due to everything that happened at that event, we decided we just weren't going to continue with him anymore.
What happened?
Well, I like, to be honest with you, Chris, and you know, I know he means well. Why he's still thinking that there was like he wasn't an owner. He wasn't an owner. There was a possibility of him becoming an owner.
Okay.
There was a possibility.
So he was investing with an option to buy in, basically.
Not with an option. It was kind of like we were working together, and we didn't even get a chance. It didn't even last long enough to be like, hey, do we think this could work?
Was he an
That
investor?
shit went out the window. That shit went out the window. I think the second time we started, we worked on an event together. He crossed the line.
What did he do?
Things.
Well, if you can speak about it. What did he? If he violated? He talked disrespectful. What did he do?
Yeah, he violated. He violated. He'll tell you he violated.
Okay.
And what happened to him because he violated.
What happened to him?
So, all right, real quick. Cause I ain't never had to just come out and say no shit like this. I swear to God, I ain't never. I promise you. Like it's weird because I ain't the type to really like talk about that kind of stuff. But if this will just dead it forever, then fine. Chris we threw a free event at the hangar over there in Fort Ward.
Okay.
The hangar with the event we did it for free. So I'm talking about we built the stage like we had like this foot tall stage. They let us come up in there like you know, it was smack dab in the middle of this. It looked like an airplane hangar.
Okay.
And we said we're gonna do it for free. Everybody just show up. We sold liquor though.
Okay.
We had liquor. We sold liquor. That's how we made money.
Right.
Everybody can come in for free, get yourself a drink. Cool. Everybody happy with that result.
Yes.
At the end of that, we count as we like divvying up like the property is just 3 ways now.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out of nowhere and says, "Oh, I lost money on this," and I'm like, how you lose money on a free event? Like I bought the liquor. What you mean you lost money? He said, well, some people like to, you know, like throw the lady, whoever her name was, I forget her name.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, let's just throw her some bread for letting us come down here. And I was like, you can give her money, like I mean, you know, for real though, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if somebody give you a venue for free, now technically I'm not saying that he wrong, because it would have been nice to get, but you know, we really didn't make that. We really didn't make that much.
And that wasn't the agreement.
Right, yeah, that wasn't the agreement. It was like, we can come in for free. I'm like, all right, bet. We get it for free. Let's do a free event. We can still make some money off selling some liquor. That's it.
Right.
And so when he was like trying to throw a bread, and I'm like, you know, I don't know what's, but he was already faded too. You know what I'm saying? Like he was faded back there, and out of nowhere, he just looked at me. He was like, "Square up," and I was like for real. And they separated us. He's getting they moving him towards the like where the bar was, John is sitting there like talking to me, and the one thing I always know, like even though he was trying to talk to me, I don't never take my eyes off nobody who say no shit like that.
Right.
And so he's faded. He don't think I'm looking at him. So while my head is kind of turned and John talking, I see him like do that look, like a dip and try to come towards me. I was like, oh, here we go. And I just moved John out the way. John gets back in the way. He grabbed John, he wasn't even thinking clear at this point.
Right.
I guess thinking he was me, and kind of bumps John into the wall. John sitting there looking at him like what the fuck you on? He grabs him, then I grab him. We both with both of us just pick him up. That bar was all glass. We sent him shattering through the whole bar.
What the fuck?
Some Western type shit, like a Western movie, like when they.
Yeah, imagine some shit like that. Imagine some shit. Direct was there. yeah. Direct was right there. It was a couple other folks, but we were like, all right, bet. So we clearly not dealing with this nigga no more. Grab the liquor, take it back.
So I'm saying after I dragged them and all that, what happened?
Huh? Oh, he was just laying there. So we grabbed the merch, grabbed the liquor, and put it in my car. Put the liquor in his car, and we just outside talking. I'm like, bro, he really bugging out for that. What the fuck is wrong with him? This nigga comes walking outside took his shirt off. He and his wife.
Oh, he was on it.
Yeah.
Real one, laid back.
Yeah, and he this time though, cause he had a pistol on his pistol on his hip, and he just I can't remember exactly what he said, but I do remember John at this point. John's pissed off now. See, I done started calming back down, but now John's pissed off, and so they go barking at each other. And then I forgot what he said, but whatever he said, I was just like, I'm over this.
Right.
And his wife was in between them. I jumped over his wife and I just popped him dead in the head. He went back, head hit the cement, blood pouring out his nose.
God damn.
Bro, Direct came over, was like, yeah, they just called the police, man. Y'all might need to get up out of here. We go up to the gas station. I'm sitting up here thinking I'm about to go to jail for manslaughter because there was a lot of blood, like a lot of blood. I'm not even trying to be on no cocky shit. It was bad. And so I'm sitting there apologizing to John because I'm like, damn, only 3 events in, I'm about to catch me a fucking manslaughter charge or some shit, bro. We see we sit there and we see a ambulance go by, cop car go by. I was like, oh yeah, it's over for me. I really thought that, but then they said no, he had gotten up. We took his gun off of him, and cause him being drunk and all that, I was like, nah, he can't have none of that. But he called the next morning apologizing and asked for his gun back, and we was like, all right, bet. We knew you was faded. Apology not necessary, but it's cool, and we just gonna go our separate ways. He still would come around and support and stuff like that, but yeah, that's what happened. And I hope he don't mind me telling this shit. He tells it. He tells it to people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so yeah, 3 events in, he only had something to do with the one before that, and then that one.
Gotcha.
And after that, yeah, we.
But so y'all basically patched it up after that, and he was tripping. Yeah,
he went on, did ABR. You know what I'm saying? He had that lead, and yeah.
Was he ever a consistent investor though?
He said 2 events, right?
Just two
two.
events.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 events.
So after that, he never invested in, never worked with y'all in no capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So since 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
Okay.
That's why I thought it was crazy when he was in the chat, and I'm like, and then even what's his name, Facts.
Yeah.
Even he was like, yeah, he gave us the impression that me and him left John together. Like it
and like I said,
real,
I don't know if it was
that
him
sounds
saying
crazy
in the chat or Facts, but when I was looking and listening to whatever, that's kind of what I was hearing.
Okay, so so that's why would he say that?
I don't know.
in what world? Because John's the one who brought him to me. I didn't know who that nigga was.
Gotcha.
Like I didn't know who he was, and you think I'm we out of here. Like leave John. Oh man, in 2016, you ain't had nothing to do with it since 2016. So, I don't know where he was coming up with that from.
Right.
I'd love to know why.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but after that, I ain't gonna tell that story no more.
Yeah. I mean, listen, don't need to be told anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, salute, you know what I mean? You know, to Chris Petty, because he definitely, he still be supporting the culture, showing love and all that shit too. You know what I'm saying? He be still getting in his controversial shit too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he came to that one event at the Westin. That's the last time I seen him.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remember seeing him there.
But overall, Will, you know what I'm saying? Will, I guess, of course, I'm not gonna lie, once this come out, they definitely, the culture definitely gonna be tuned in. Anything you wanna actually send out as far as you being one of the owners of Bullpen, any message you want to give to the fans, to the culture that you've been helping cultivate for 10 years, you know what I'm saying, plus putting in pain, putting on classics, putting on great events, you know what I'm saying, because you're basically saying this is the end of Bullpen officially, right? Or
as far as I'm concerned, right now, like I said, with the way that I feel right now, and with all the things that I've got going on, I mean, I'm still, I went down there to Alabama to judge.
You done supported my industry nights, every event. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still
facts, everything.
Yeah, I'm still going to do those things. But from a league owner perspective, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I actually would love to come back though.
Is Bullpen for sale?
Is Bullpen for sale?
Yeah.
It depends on what somebody talking about.
So there's a number that you would take.
Yeah. And I take it to John too. But yeah, it depends on that number.
That's good.
Yeah, it's got to be enough because like at the end of the day, that's still our baby, and what we did for the city can never be reproduced. It can't be reproduced, and so yeah, it's got to make sense, and there would be stipulations as well. We'd have to remain at least say co-founders for sure. Yeah, that's probably the only at least stipulation on my part. To make sure that founder still is still on that, on that masthead.
Right.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, somebody make me an offer. I'll see what's up.
Anything you want to leave with the culture, you know what I'm saying? Just, you for all these years you don't put in anything I guess words you want to say to the fans, you know what I'm saying?
I really anybody who knows me knows, I don't like feeling I don't like this kind of feeling. I ain't never on no nigga. I ain't never liked being accused of doing any kind of bad business or anything like that. I'm in the process of trying to figure this out now. So if I can come up with some kind of resolution, and I don't mind even hearing some kind of ideas from the fans and from everybody who's loved anything Bullpen related, and for real, I'm here open to whatever it would take for y'all to at least feel that we put forth the effort to make sure we shored up everything and gave back what's owed to y'all. For real.
Well, man, appreciate you. Anything outside of battle rap, you know what I'm saying, that you want the fans to tune into? I know you're doing a lot.
Oh yeah, I got my movie, Never Dance with the Devil, coming out in January 18th.
Where can they catch that at?
Huh?
Where can they catch that at?
Oh, the premiere is on the 18th. As far as distribution and stuff, I if you follow me on social media, I have it out as soon as I know.
Okay, for sure.
But and you know, still doing comedy. If you see my name pop up at any venue in the city in Atlanta, so
Where can they follow you?
Slick Will on IG, and that's pretty much it. That's all I do. Like I said, I ain't really with the social media. So Slick Will on Facebook, Slick Will on IG. I ain't got no TikTok. I ain't got no nothing.
You gotta get on that TikTok with the comedy reels, bro. That's how
Everybody keep telling me that. I think I might have to. I might have to
that's
break
the
down.
1,000% the wave.
Come on,
Yeah.
And them IG reels too, like we
You
bugging.
know what it is over here, girl. You better tap in with it. You know
I got you. I got
Come on,
you.
man.
If we get a shout out, man, for Hip Hop Is Real.
Yeah, you already know. Tune in to Hip Hop Is Real. Fuck my nigga live knowledge. Fuck with my nigga wrong. We out.
Let's get it.
What I got, my brother seen me do it. Rotate the op block and